I see only one way to proceed. I will call for a Landsmeet, a gathering of all of Ferelden's nobility in the city of Denerim. There, Ferelden can decide who shall rule, one way or another. It will take some time to recall my forces and organize our allies. In the meantime, I suggest you pursue the remainder of the Grey Warden treaties.
There are three main groups that we have treaties for. The Dalish Elves, the Dwarves of Orzammar, and the Circle of Magi.
And where will we find the Dalish Elves?
If we head eastward, towards the Brecilian Forest, we should hear word of one of the clans that wanders that area. Hopefully they will still be there.
Ugh, look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
It's the thought that counts. He means well.
The dirty mongrel can have this back, there, and tell him not to do it again.
You heard the lady.
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
I think you hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Do you know anything about the Dalish?
I have heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in a land of their own.
It didn't last.
The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens. But others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers. They were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish.
I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them.
Thanks, Shell.
Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings?
You were once a flesh creature yourself.
Don't remind me. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
It is quite welcome. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought.
What's on your mind?
As a Grey Warden, I'll never lead a normal life, will I?
No, you won't.
I already knew the answer. Don't know why I asked.
Because you were not looking for the answer, but for someone to tell you that in spite of it, you'll be all right. You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are.
A little?
When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other. Family, love, a simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have.
Grass is always greener on the other side.
It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower with no way out and no end in sight. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers.
Did you find anything?
I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason, and fighting our intended course is what causes so much anguish.
And that made you feel better?
I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, maybe 16, and I knew everything. So I left, but I always found my way back to that chapel. And as the years passed, I began to see the truth of her words. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. But we weren't. There was much about us that was the same.
But priests have to choose to be priests. Mages don't.
Not all priests choose their path. Some children are given to the chantry to raise and become initiates. The revered mother had lived in the chantry all her life, as I had been in the tower for all of mine. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around you, that you can love your work and find fulfillment in duty, and there is joy even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours, and their happiness is your happiness.
That doesn't sound healthy.
It isn't healthy to throw yourself at a pack of darkspawn either in order to save the world. So I'd say you're in no position to judge. You can scream and cry and be angry about life as a Grey Warden. Or you can accept it and allow yourself to see the good in it. This is your choice.
I need to tell you how much I enjoy your company.
You know, I was just thinking the same thing. Given the circumstances, things could have been so much worse. I'm so grateful that you're you, instead of some other Grey Warden. That sounded better in my head. I just mean to say that I've really come to care about you.
I feel the same way.
Now we just need to be rid of that pesky archdemon, and everything will be back to normal, right?
What say you?
What's your opinion of the Dalish?
I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease, and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book.
Zevran, that's horrible.
Is it? It seemed normal enough a tale growing up. No different than the other elven boys in the whorehouse. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear. It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all.
Up until my family was slaughtered by a supposed friend, my life was pretty good.
My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again.
But you don't think of yourself as Dalish?
Not at all. I think of myself as Antivan. Still, that did not stop me from running off to join a clan when I drew near Antiva City once. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on.
Stop right there, outsider. The Dalish have camped in this spot. I suggest you go elsewhere, and quickly.
Actually, I've been looking for the Dalish.
I find that hard to believe. What business could we Dalish possibly have with a group like yours?
I am a Grey Warden. I wish to speak to your leader.
A Grey Warden? How do I know you're telling the truth?
You will have to take my word on it.
I suppose that a lie wouldn't gain you much benefit. I shall bring you to the Keeper. In the camp, I suggest you keep your hands to yourself, and remember that our arrows are still trained on you. Follow me.
I see we have guests. And a hound amongst them. As if we haven't had enough problems with such creatures. Who are these strangers, Mithra? I have precious little patience and less time to spend on outsiders today.
This one claims to be a Grey Warden and wishes to speak with the clan. I thought it best to leave the decision to you.
That was wise of you. Masirinus, Mithra, you may return to your post.
Manuvinen, Keeper.
Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Zevran, the keeper of this clan, its guide and preserver of our ancient lore. And you are?
My name is Elissa. A pleasure to meet you.
Manners. From a Shemlin. Interesting. What might be your mission here? Have you come to spread news of the Blight? I had already sensed the corruption spreading in the south. The existence of the Blight is not news to me. I would have taken the clan north by now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not. I imagine you are here regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we made. This will require some explanation. Please, follow me. The clan came to the Brecilian Forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the forest, but we did not expect the werewolves would be lying in wait for us. They ambushed us, and though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak. Even with all our magic and healing skill, we will eventually be forced to slay our brethren to prevent them from becoming beasts. The Blight's evil must be stopped, but we are in no position to uphold our obligations. I am truly sorry.
There are actual werewolves in the forest.
There was a time in Ferelden's history when werebeasts roamed the lands in great numbers. Spirits possessed animals and turned them into horrific monsters. The humans warred against and destroyed these creatures. No doubt their tales of those days grow ever more inaccurate.
Flemeth tells tales of such a time. Packs of possessed wolves akin to abominations roaming the land. It was a terrible age, now long past.
The werebeasts are not all gone from this land, and the ones that stalk the Brecilian forests are proof of this.
Why did these beasts attack you?
They are savage and unrelenting. They need no reason to attack anyone. What is curious, however, is the ambush. We expect werewolves to be no more cunning than a rabid wolf. The ambush suggests a level of intelligence we've never seen before.
Maybe they aren't as unintelligent as you think.
I doubt that. The very curse that is in their blood fills them with an unreasoning rage that precludes any true thought.
Is there no way to help your men?
The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous. The only thing that could help them must come from the source of the curse itself. And that would be no trivial task to retrieve.
I am good at non-trivial tasks.
Within the Brecilian Forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task has proven too dangerous for us. I sent some hunters into the forest a week ago, but they have not returned. I cannot risk any more of my clan.
You said you could perhaps destroy the curse.
There is no guarantee that this will work, as I suspect. But it's the only hope we have left.
I'll find this Witherfang for you.
I must warn you that more than werewolves lurk in the Brecilian Forest. It has a history full of carnage and murder, you see. Where there is so much death, the veil separating the spirit realm from our own becomes thin, allowing spirits to possess things, living or dead. But if you can indeed help, then I wish you luck.
I have some questions for you.
Make them quick, if you please. I have much to do here. My apprentice Lanaya or Sayrel, the clan's storyteller, could provide you with answers just as easily.
Tell me more about this curse the hunters suffer from.
There is not much to say. It stemmed originally from Witherfang, but now any werewolf may infect someone with it.
So, did all werewolves everywhere stem from Witherfang?
No. The ones from this forest, however, do.
So if a werewolf bites me, then I will become infected?
It is possible, but not guaranteed. The only way to protect against the curse is not to be bitten.
How do you know if you've been infected by the curse?
You will know within a matter of days. You will begin to sweat and vomit, and most tellingly, your temper will become wild and uncontrollable. If that happens to you, you should seek out Witherfang even more swiftly. Your mission at that point will be rather personal.
How did this curse start?
That is a long tale I do not have time to tell. Ask Sayrel about it if you wish. I must return to caring for my people. Creator's speed on your way.
Underanitishan, Grey Warden. My name is Lanaya. I am Zathrian's first, what you might call an apprentice, perhaps. I've been studying under the Keeper all my life. I am a bit curious of the outside world. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two?
If you like, go ahead.
I hear the human cities are very large, thousands upon thousands of souls all packed together in their houses. Is that true?
Yes, some are larger than the eye can see.
How very loud that must be with everyone talking all at once. I try to imagine those of our people living in such a place, surrounded by walls of stone and indifference. It is a difficult thought.
It isn't an easy life for them, that's true.
I suppose you have met many of my kind in your travels. My heart goes out to them. It is said that one day we will have a land of our own. We Dalish gather the ancient wisdom in preparation for this. When that day comes, all elves, even those who have forgotten, will reclaim their former glory. I have a question, if it's not too impolite to ask. Do your people regret what they did to ours?
Some of us do. Not all humans are the same.
I see. That is difficult for our people to accept. Even if only some were in favor of what was done to us, the rest did nothing to stop it. A poet once wrote of them, before the fall of the Dales. Like dragons they fly, glory upon wings. Like dragons, they savage, fearsome, pretty things. But you don't need me to quote poetry to you. Forgive me. Perhaps you have some questions of your own.
Tell me more about yourself.
I'm hardly anyone special, I assure you. If I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans. I came to the Dalish at a very young age, but I've always retained my curiosity about the world I came from.
How did you come to the Dalish if you were so young?
My parents were servants to a human merchant whose caravans plied the southern routes. One day, bandits killed him, and my parents both. I was the only survivor, just a young girl, and the bandits took me. I was their servant for several years.
I'm sorry. It must have been horrible.
It was. Though long years of reflection have allowed me to come to terms with it, to put them in perspective. I can only imagine what would have happened had the clan not saved me from them. I owe them my life for that, and more.
The Dalish rescued you from bandits.
The bandits killed a scout when the clan passed near their camp. When the clan discovered him, Zevran came looking for his killers. He followed their tracks for almost a month, and when he finally caught up to us, he fell on the bandits like a terror. No one could stop him. I sat there and I watched him attack them in a blur, and I reveled in every blow. When he saw me, the fury in his eyes turned to pity. He took me back to the clan, and I've been here ever since.
Didn't you have family you could have returned to?
It's possible I might have had some, maybe many. Zevran offered to take me back, but I had no idea where I was from, and I wanted to stay with the man who rescued me. The clan is my family. Any others out there? It's best they believe that little girl died with her parents. For now, the clan is all I need. My old world could not have offered me all this, and the knowledge of a keeper as well. Perhaps one day, when I am keeper, I might inquire out of curiosity. I'm not sure what lies down that road except pain, however.
How did you become a keeper?
I am not a keeper. I am Zethrian's first. Though because I was not born into the clan, becoming his first was very difficult. We Dalish have old traditions. The clans come from the ranks of the nobility that once ruled the Dales, you see. The keepers of those old clans have the strongest and purest blood that reaches back to the days of Arlathan. I had to compete against the other candidates for first, to be better than them in everything, simply because I was not of the old blood.
You must be proud of your accomplishments.
I am. The ceremony where Zethrian anointed me as his first was the proudest day of my life. The clan has placed great trust in me. One day, I will lead them and be the one who secures our future.
What does a keeper do exactly?
A keeper is, first and foremost, the leader of the clan. He decides where we go and when we shall move. He's also responsible for knowing the clan's ancient lore and passing it on to the others in the clan. Without a keeper, the clan's knowledge is lost forever, so the clan protects him like no other.
What can you tell me about Zethrian?
Nothing that you could not ask Zethrian himself. He is the keeper of this clan and has been for a very long time. He is also a very good man who has lost much. The Dalish are everything to him, and he would do anything to protect them.
Lost much? What has he lost?
He lost his family. A very long time ago. I don't know the story, but I understand the circumstances were horrific.
I should go.
As you wish. Darth Shirel.
We few wanderers greet you, Shemlin. We understand you are venturing into the haunted forest to save our brethren. I suspect your efforts may be in vain. An entire group of our hunters went into the forest to do as you intend, and they have not returned.
If I'm lucky, maybe I can find them.
An outsider to the rescue, but of course. What were we doing, trying to solve our own problems?
I'm just trying to help your people.
Nothing will help us now. Least of all, the meddling of an outsider.
You are being most unkind, Cyril. Would you refuse our hunters' help simply because of the hand that offered it?
You shame me, Lethalan. I have allowed my bitterness to cloud my better judgment. Forgive me, Grey Warden. It is most difficult to forget the lessons these Shemlen have taught us.
It is even more difficult when you live amongst them, trust me.
Perhaps I can yet make amends. Stay while I spin a tale for our children. And then I will tell you of the forest if you desire.
I'd like that.
Come and join us then, all of you. Now, what say we tell the story of the fall of the Dales? Which of you children knows that best?
I think I do.
Yes? Then come, child. Oh, don't be frightened of the outsiders. Now, where do you suppose such a tale should begin?
When we were slaves?
Yes. Long ago, our people were slaves to an empire the Shemlen had built on the darkest magic. They took away our history and our language and left us nothing. And then that empire fell. We were freed.
Because Andraste came with her army, and Shartan joined her.
Yes. Andraste, the Shemlen prophet, came out of the south and challenged the Tevinter Imperium. Our ancestor, Shartan, fought at her side. And when the rebellion came to an end, we were given a new homeland in the west, the Dales. We began to rebuild the culture and history we had lost in our years of slavery. We worshipped the creators and made the Dales our home. Perhaps you know what happened next, stranger. Do you know what happened to the Dales?
You started a war with us and lost.
We started the war, did we? And you, child, what do you believe happened to the Dales?
The Shemlen wouldn't let us be.
Indeed. They resented that we would not worship their maker, and they resented our ways because they were so different from their own. The Shemlen nations grew cold towards the Dales. They called us blasphemers and tyrants, and declared war upon us. A great crusade.
Not every human felt that way, I'm sure.
And which is worse? The actions of those who believed they were right, or the inaction of those who knew they were wrong? Oh, I am certain we played a part in our downfall. We believed that the Shemlen would not revoke their prophet's gift so lightly. We were wrong. They took our lands, forcing us to abandon our gods and live as beggars in Shemlen cities. But there were those of us who refused to abandon our ways. They emblazoned the symbols of the creators upon their flesh and vowed to keep their ancient lore alive.
That's us. That's the Dalish.
Indeed, child. We chose to wander, homeless, rather than be ruled by the Shemlen. And all our clans wander alone until the day we have a homeland once more.
Then we bring the old ways back to our people, because they have forgotten it all.
For we are the Dalish, the keepers of the lost law.
The walkers of the lonely path.
We are the Elvenan, and never again shall we submit. And that is the tale of the Dales, stranger. Thank you for allowing us to tell it to you.
Perhaps you'll allow me to tell a story as well?
Perhaps another time. You are the guest here, and one who may yet prove of great help to our ailing hunters. Now, as I said I would, I can tell you what I know of the Brecilian Forest. Do you wish to hear it?
Yes. Tell me of the forest.
Our legends say that before the Shemlen came, the Brecilian Forest was a place of our ancestors that predated even our oldest homeland. The people of the Imperium came here, and gave the forest its name. If they found traces of our ancestors, we cannot say. If they did, those elves were slain or enslaved. We know only that a great many battles were fought here. These trees grow upon the graves of those who fell, Shemlen and elves both. So much death in one place tore the veil into the beyond. The Shemlen know the beyond as the Fade, the place of dreams and spirits. When the veil is torn, spirits pass into our world freely. The legends say that one great spirit possessed the wolf that became Witherfang.
Witherfang still exists today?
So Zethrian insists. He says that Witherfang does not age as the werewolves do. Witherfang is as much spirit as it is beast, and thus it is immortal. Perhaps it cannot even be slain. At the very least, it is old and powerful, much as Zethrian himself.
How many werewolves are there?
No one knows. When the Shemlin lived in these parts, the curse would spread anew to a few of them with each passing year. They would run off into the forest, never to be seen again. Eventually, all the Shemlin left. One assumes the werewolves survive by passing their curse to their offspring. They have had no new blood. Until now, that is.
Have the hunters become werewolves?
It is said that one or two have turned already, though the Keeper denies it. As for the rest, they will either die or turn, unless they are killed out of mercy. I would rather die than become a ravening, soulless beast. Wouldn't you?
So, there are many spirits in the forest?
The forest is said to be haunted. Spirits possess the trees, the wolves, even the bodies of the dead. They yearn for true life, you see.
That's all I need to know.
One last warning. The forest is like a thing alive. It changes as it wills, closing paths behind you and opening up new ones. Too many have become lost within, unable to find their way out. Were I you, I would endeavor not to make the forest my enemy.
Ah, now I know who this is. This is Fen'Harel, the Dread Wolf. According to elven legend, he tricked all the other elven gods and sealed them away in the Fade for all eternity. You know, the elves who worked in the kitchens back home used to call Durgan Fen'Harel. This one time, he managed to lock them in the storeroom before he raided the kitchen. We still don't know how he did that.
Andera Natishan, stranger. I am Athras. I hope the others have not been too harsh in their treatment of you.
I understand.
That is very generous of you. Most would assume we are unkind as a rule, and that is not the case. Especially not to a Grey Warden. But we have lost much, and it is easy to forget simple niceties at such a time. I understand you will search for the wolves in the Brecilian Forest. I would join you, but Zethrian has forbidden me.
Forbidden you?
We are banned from entering the forest now. I have more cause than most, but I will not disobey my keeper.
Why do you want to enter the forest?
That is a tale I am not sure I should tell an outsider. Surely you have greater concerns than my problems, stranger.
Please, I'd like to hear about it.
It's odd to talk so freely with a stranger, but perhaps you can help me. My wife Dalilah and I both fought the werewolves in the ambush. She was injured so gravely, the curse spread rapidly in her. Zethrian fought hard to ease her pain, but there was little he could do. And though he says that Dalilah is dead, he will not let me see her body. I am beginning to believe she became a werewolf, and that it is being kept from me so I do not go chasing after her. If I could just know if Dalilah is alive, or what happened to her, then I could be at peace.
I will seek her out in the forest.
I have an amulet made by our craftsman. It's not much, but I would be happy to give it to you in return for any news.
Of a city elf myself. A forest like this just seems so very filthy.
The Watchwolves have spoken truly, my brothers and sisters. The Dalish and the human of all things, to repay us for our attack, to put us in our place. What bitter irony.
You speak? I thought werewolves were savage beasts.
We are beasts, but we are no longer simple and mindless. Let that thought chill your spine. You speak to Swift Runner. I lead my cursed brothers and sisters. Turn back now. Go back to the Dalish and tell them that you have failed. Tell them we will gladly watch them suffer the same curse we have suffered for too long. We will watch them pay.
I would prefer to talk to you. I mean you no harm.
Was it not Zevran who sent you? He wishes only our destruction, never to talk.
You talk of Zevran as if you know him.
We have never met, he and I. He would not survive the experience. I swear it.
Why exactly? Why do you hate him so much?
You know nothing, do you? Nothing of us, and even less of those you serve. You are a fool, and we are done talking. Run from the forest while you can. Run to the Dalish and tell them they are doomed.
I don't want to fight, but neither can I retreat.
I do not wish to fight you either, but we cannot trust you. Come, brothers and sisters, let us retreat. The forest has eyes of its own, and it will deal with intruders as it always has.
What? Who comes?
You're badly wounded. What happened to you?
We were sent to find Witherfang, bring his heart. Attacked.
He's still breathing. Let's get him back to the Dalish camp.
And Aethere, Grey Warden. Our scouts saw you approaching and tell me you carry the body of one of our hunters with you. Ah, Dagon. He is wounded, but I think he will live. Ma Syranas, your help is appreciated. Come, Lethaline, let us take Dagon to the Keeper, and quickly. If we are lucky, we may still save him.
What manner of beast be thee that comes before this elder tree?
Can't you see me? I am a human.
Ah, yes. I remember thy kind. So brief of life, and all but blind to the peril you cause, the lives you take. Such chaos is sown within thy wake. Allow me a moment to welcome thee. I am called the Grand Oak, sometimes the Elder Tree.
It rhymes? 'Tis a rhyming tree. One can only imagine what manner of spirit is involved here.
And unless thou think'st it far too soon, might I ask of thee a boon?
Why do you speak in rhymes?
I do not know. Why dost thou not? Thy words seem plain, a mundane lot. Perhaps a poet's soul's in me. Does that make me a poetry?
A poetry, yes, I get it.
It was but a simple jest, a jibe to entertain my guest.
What are you exactly?
I am an elder oak and nothing more. Though once I dreamt of a time before when I roamed the world and howled with pain, not of this world, but twixt and twain. Perhaps I was a spirit then, a wandering thing drawn to this glen. But then that spirit joined with a tree. Since then, a tree is all I be.
It just seems that the other trees are far more hostile.
Of the Sylvans, this is true. They are quite mad, their virtues few. A spirit trapped within a tree, no mouth to scream or eyes to see. A cage of bark, a prison wood, a thing of rage where nature stood. So twisted Sylvan they become. But I am not the same as some. I accept my fated oaken home. I feel no need to rage and roam.
I would like to know more of this forest.
I can only speak to what a tree may see. It may not help you, but it is enough for me. It was the elves who planted the seeds, raised the forest, saw to its needs. But that was all so long ago. That they are dead is all I know.
What happened here to make the forest like this?
A great war, perhaps. I cannot tell. I was not here when it befell. But many deaths here, all the same. And with the deaths, the spirits came. The spirits entered corpse and tree, and most went mad, as thou canst see. The forest had a spirit of its own, from back when its first seeds were sown. Perhaps she died of grief that day, or perhaps she simply went away. Or perhaps the wares are the ones to blame, for the day she left is the day they came.
I don't understand.
I speak as clearly as I see. Plainer than this, I cannot be.
Where can I find Witherfang's lair?
In the center of the forest the wares do dwell, or so go the tales my fellows tell. But they cannot be followed there. The forest doth protect the wares.
Is there any other way to get to the center of the forest?
Perform the boon as I ask, and I shall reward thee for the task. I have but one desire, to solve a matter very dire. As I slept one early morn, a thief did come and steal an acorn.
An acorn?
All I have is my being, my seed. Without it, I am alone indeed. I cannot go and seek it out, yet I shall die if left without.
Very well. I will help you.
Go to the east to find this man. I shall await. Do what thou can.
How odd. A camp with no campers, complete with fire and warm blankets. Rather inviting, would you not say?
More suspicious than inviting.
The elven hunters didn't make this camp. Yet I don't feel very bloody concerned about that. I just want a nap, of all things. Go figure.
No, we can't sleep here. We need to go.
I did not realize I was so tired. We should sleep for a while, or... Did I just say that?
I feel it too. We need to stay awake.
I'm surprised that fire hasn't burned out. We should tend it. Is there a stick about? Oh, I am tired.
Yes, we should use the camp. We need to sleep.
A hungry spirit luring those who pass to their rest and their doom. I might wonder how it learned this trick. No matter, it shall prey on no one else.
There's a chest here. Maybe some good can come out of this maker-forsaken death camp after all. A ring. Looks expensive. And are these Dalish gloves? Zevran, take a look at these.
Gloves? You're giving me gloves? What for?
They're Dalish gloves. Like your mother's.
Maker's breath. You're right. It is like my mother's. The leather was less thick and it had more embroidery, but these are very close and quite handsome.
It was nothing.
Still, I appreciate the fact that you even thought of me. No one has simply given me a gift before. Thank you.
Wait. We are back at the beginning of the path. The forest, it seems, does not wish us to reach wherever the path leads. How protective.
Please. Help. Listen. I am not the mindless beast I appear to be.
What happened to you?
I am cursed, turned into this creature. The curse, it burns in me. I fled into the forest. The werewolves, they took me in, but I had to return. I had to. You are human. I was once an elf, one of the Dalish folk. You know of my clan.
Your keeper, Zethrian, is the one who sent me here.
The keeper sent you? Then you seek Witherfang.
I do. Have you seen him?
I I have, but it is not what you think. But there is no time to explain. You must listen. My name is Dalilah. My husband, he is called Athras. Please, you must bring him a message. The staff I wear. Bring it to him. Tell him I love him. Tell him I am dead, and with the gods, I beg you.
I spoke to Athras. He worries about you.
I want him to be at peace. He is a good man. Please do not let him suffer thinking of me. Oh, the pain. The curse is fire in my blood. Please, hand it for me. Hand it quickly.
There must be some way to heal you.
Magic will not work against the curse. Ah, you must end it.
Very well. I will end your pain.
Gods, bless you.
Oh dear. Not a werewolf and not a spirit even. What are the woods coming to?
What are you babbling on about?
Questions, questions, always questions. They say it was questions that made me mad. Will you do the same for you? Ask a question and you'll get a question, but give an answer and you'll receive the same. Oh, I do so love to trade.
You're quite mad, obviously.
No, that is not a question. And if it be an answer, it'd be an answer to a question I've not asked. Have you no sense for the rules?
Be cautious. This is no ordinary madman. He has magic. I can sense it. Powerful magic.
No fair bringing mages to a guessing game. Will you play by the rules or not?
Then, would you like to ask me a question?
I think it is your turn to ask, is it not?
Who are you?
Who am I? Why do you want to know? Did they send you? Did they tell you to ask?
Who's they?
Oh, did they tell you to pretend to be an innocent stranger with a head full of fluff and nothing? I'm trickier than I look. I survive still, and the trees, they leave me be. I've won. They will never find me. Never.
You're mad.
Do you know a better way to live in a forest like this? But that's all I have to say about that. An answer for an answer. There you go.
Do you want to ask me something else?
May I? Oh yes, I think I might. Now, what shall be the first? Oh yes, what is your name?
You may call me Elissa.
Aha, so you claim. They sent you, didn't they? But you're too tricky, and you're trying to fool me. Well, I'm on to you, just so you know. But it is your turn to ask now. Ask. Ask away, I dare you.
So you live in this stump?
Yes, I live here, and it's not as bad as you think. Where else to go, eh? I must stay away from them. They're out there and looking. They will take your secrets, oh yes, all of them, and leave you empty. But that's all I have to say about that. An answer for an answer. There you go.
Would you like to ask me another question?
Where were you born?
I was born on my family estate in the north.
So you say. Fiendishly clever of you to maintain this facade for so long, but I will see through it yet. Mark my words. But it is your turn to ask now. Ask. Ask away, I dare you.
Do you have the Grand Oak's acorn?
Suddenly it all becomes clear. You here, that talking tree there, it all makes sense now. As a matter of fact, yes. I do have that tree's acorn. I stole it, and it was easy. Silly tree should have locked it up tighter. If you want it, you'll have to trade me for it. And nothing from that silly tree. No leaves or branches or anything. But that's all I have to say about that. An answer for an answer. There you go.
Ask me something else?
Let's see. Do you have a knowledge of the arcane arts?
Can't you tell?
If I could tell, I wouldn't have to ask you now, would I? Do you have the knowledge or not?
No, of course not.
Oh, well, that's disappointing. But wait, what if you were lying? Ah, you thought to scamper away without suspicion, did you? Well, I'm onto you. But it is your turn to ask now. Ask. Ask away, I dare you.
I want to trade for the acorn.
Oh, and what do you have to trade for the acorn?
How about some gold coin?
Coin? What possible use could I have with coin? Do you see a money changer about?
How about this silver ring I found in the ruins?
Eh? I once had a ring like that. This one's shiny still. Yes, I'll take it. Give me that. There. Now that's done. What else have you got on your agenda,
I should go.
Oh, I see. You're going to report to them now, are you? Fine. Goodbye.
My acorn is still gone, so I pray to thee. Hast thou any news for me?
Is this the acorn you seek?
My joy soars to new heights indeed. I am reunited with my seed. As I promised, here it be. I hope its magic pleases thee. Keep this branch of mine with thee, and pass throughout the forest free. I wish thee well, my mortal friend. Thou brought my sadness to an end. May the sunlight find you, thy days be long, thy winters kind, and thy roots be strong.